There's nothing like a brand new car from Brunswick Auto Mart. Save big this month with deals like this. Don't miss Jeep Adventure Days and lease a 2022 Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4 with heated seats and steering for just $349 a month. Or lease the all-new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4 with heated leather seats for $499 a month. Brunswick Auto Mart. Car buying made truly simple.
All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this special edition interview with the head coach of the Brunswick varsity girls basketball team. With me today, I have head coach Anthony Ocacio. I don't want to butcher your last name.
Ocacio, that's okay. Everybody always butchers it. It's very hard to
Ocasio.
pronounce.
Okay. I just wanted to double check. But Anthony, thank you for taking the time here with us tonight. I know you got a big game against the Medina Bees to prepare for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, it's our pleasure. We love it. We're really excited about tomorrow. It's rivalry week, sort of. I know we got Medina, but still strong as you'll hear in a couple weeks. But still, Medina's one of our biggest rivals. Something we really get excited for.
Absolutely. And just to kind of give everybody a little background on your team, you personally are in your fourth year as head coach. You guys finished 12-13 last season, but you returned most of that team. And that's a team which happened to finish, I believe, 11-6 after kind of a slow start to the season. So how important was it for your program to continue to build off that late season success that you found to finish the year?
Well, like last year, many of our girls were sophomores, and we had some transfers come over from other schools, moving into the district. And so our goal last year was, around December, January, you wanted to just really hit and get that varsity experience with these girls and, kind of get them familiar with Brunswick basketball because, like I said, a lot of the girls were sophomores or, we had one girl, for instance, didn't play her freshman year due to COVID. And like I said, all these movements, we wanted them to get used to our style of play, how, we envision our team. And then, we knew going into the summertime that basically the majority of our team was coming back. And basically, we knew we were returning 5 starters from the previous year, a couple key rotation players, and then an incoming freshman who we thought can contribute it right away. And right now, they took last year, and then they used it as a learning experience. They saw, how good of the teams that we lost to, how they prepped and how they played, and how they came in each game with the mentality. And we've kind of installed that, where we have to practice hard every single day. We have to try to get better. We have to play our style. And, we can't look past any of our opponents with the schedule that we do play in the conference that we play in. And, we have to bring it every single day. And the girls have done a good job so far installing that and practicing really, really hard and trying to, I would say, just keep this winning streak and this that winning mentality that we closed out at the end of the year alive and keep going.
And you talk about playing Brunswick basketball. What is that style of play that you really wanted to instill in these girls?
We playing for Joe Mackey, and then like I said, learning from him, and then seeing Brunswick basketball when my sister played growing up and going to many of the games. We want to install that whole unselfish attitude where it's not just going to be one person. It could be somebody different every single night, and you go out there and you just give everything you have. One thing I love about being a part of a Brunswick resident and being a past player at Brunswick and, coaching on the boys side and switching over and coaching on the girls side is that one thing I love about our students at the high school is that they're just hard-nosed, blue-collar kids who go out there and they just like to go out. They go out there and they give everything they have. And they don't try not to take any possessions off. And that's one thing we want to just install that, you got to go out there. You have to win every single minute. You have to get every single loose ball. You have to play as a collective unit. Recently, with our team, one thing I love is our unselfishness. We have, like we said, 5 girls who returned who had that varsity experience last year starting. But right now, after, looking at our stat sheets and looking at our score books, it's been somebody different every single night. One of our top players, Journey Hildebrand, she got hurt at the very beginning of the year and, she's slowly has been recovering, but it's like their team didn't skip a beat. They came in, they still we're competing. Girls stepped up in their roles that they needed to, and it's every night it's fun to watch when they're playing unselfish, and that's what we just want to keep installing in our mindset: the unselfishness, the hard nosed defense, rebounding, all those physical stats. And sometimes the stats that don't always show up too.
Yeah, that out of the box score stuff. You mentioned Journey Hildebrand, very special player, already gaining the attention of some colleges, kind of widely known as one of the best scorers in the area. I believe last year she averaged 17 and a half points a game, can kind of score all over the floor. And I think also on the verge of joining the 1,000 point club, which is super cool
Oh,
for a
yes.
junior at that. Just kind of talk for a minute about what she means to your team.
Well, I've had the luxury of when I took over. My gosh, 4 years ago now, I guess 4 or 5. Journey was in seventh grade at the time, and I saw her at one of these clinics that we installed that we were doing, like some little shootout clinic at like Hoop Guru or Swish or something like that, where we invited all of our Brunswick residents to go. And I took notice of her right away. You could just tell when she was in seventh grade that that girl had the it factor, and that she worked hard at her game at such a young age. And it's really great to see her prosper and get all those accolades and the offers that she definitely deserves. You said it best. There's many ways that she can score. And I've seen this since she was in seventh grade in AAU to all the way now her junior year. Her freshman year she came in with all these expectations. We had a big group of seniors that year, and she fit it right in perfectly. And her game has evolved over time. Like I said, her freshman year, she had a luxury of having a very fast point guard in Jordan Wickus, who was able to just get downhill and feed her in the corner. And then, they came out too fast on her that she was able to go around them. But now she's sometimes brings the ball up as our primary ball handler. She sees the floor well. She's defending. When she defends at a really high level, she's one of the best players, if not the best player out there. But it's really such a sight to see her game evolve so far since her seventh grade year till now, and it's exciting to see where else she can be. Where else she can get to. But she's a very special player that they don't make many like her.
Yeah, and that game against Solon last week, she hit that three at the buzzer to cap off that wild comeback that you guys were able to put on. Tough loss to an incredible Solon team. And I think that second half was super important. Like, you came out, played your brand of basketball. Just how impressed were you with your team's fight in that game, and what kind of lessons can be learned and kind of such a tough loss like that that can prepare you for Medina and some other tough opponents you're going to face here this season?
Well, first off, Solon is one of the best programs, that I've seen since I've been involved with girls basketball. Trish is an exceptional coach. She does such a good job game planning and locking in on her opponent. And they just have really always, since, I've been here, great athletes and, great basketball players, and even better, getting to know those girls. They're great kids too over at Solon, getting to know them through the AAU circuit, just being around and watching them. But, in regards to our team, our team was really upset after the game. We felt like we were there, but we were happy that it showed like our progress. Because, last year when we played Solon, it did not go in our favor at all. And, going into this week, we practiced really hard. And, we prepped really, really well, I thought. And the girls executed the game plan in the second half. First half kind of got away from us. And that's, one thing we want to install, that Solon does a good job, has done a great job where they play 4 quarters of basketball. I thought, we played Brunswick basketball 2 quarters. If we would have played 2 more quarters of it the first half, maybe the game would have went differently for us. So the nice sight was, I was really happy for Journey, to have a moment like that. Is very special. Not many people can say they've had moments like that in their basketball careers, where you make a shot to force overtime against arguably one of the best teams in the area. But, again, we wanted the other outcome, just like any other team would. And the nice part was, like, when we went into the locker room, you could just tell the girls were upset, but they're ready to go, and so I think it was a learning curve for our team because it showed like, okay, this is what you have to do for 4 quarters, but now remember this feeling. You don't want this feeling to happen again. And so I think after that, we've been practicing great. I think they're ready to go. We're not. I don't want to say we're going to come out here and take out our frustrations out on Medina because we know they're going to be very. They're well coached. Karen, just like Trish, is one of the better coaches in the area. Their girls always go out there and they play physical basketball. They make you take tough shots. They get under your grill. A lot of respect towards Medina. But we are hungry right now. We want to show it. So I think that's one of the takeaways from Solon that we want to use as momentum here to try to take that and play unselfish basketball into the rest of our season.
And you mentioned Karen Case, that well-coached Medina team. What has the preparation been like over the last few days to try and prepare for a matchup of a team like Medina that's so well-coached, doesn't have many unforced errors?
Like I said, since I've been around, Medina has always made you do things that you are uncomfortable doing. In regards to their personnel, obviously in regards to their team from last year to this year, we know that they graduated a lot of girls, but in regards to their whole program, their girls are installed at such a young age to play tough physical basketball, and their fundamentals are always solid. Olivia Klanick, arguably one of the better shooters in the area. Again, I've gotten to know her through the AAU circuit, just being around her and her family and her team. And again, very similar like the Blackfords and over there in Solon, very, very polite young girl who's got a great future in basketball. So just try to lock in and try to win our individual matchups here. I think if we shoot it well and we attack how we need to attack, I think we can really get going here against them. But the case in point is we know Medina's going to come out here and they're going to play physical basketball and they're going to rebound the basketball. They're going to work hard, but we just got to make sure that we work just a little bit harder if we want to pull off this victory tomorrow.
How important is players like Leah Holmes gobble up those rebounds in the paint, not allowing their talented scorers to get those second chance opportunities? How big is that rebounding battle going to be tomorrow night?
It's going to be tough. Leah, that's what we've been really striving for these past couple of days of practicing. Telling not just Leah, but girls like Journey and girls like Lexi and Faith. Lexi Bertamis is, in my opinion, one of the better guards who goes in there, and she's very small but finds a way to sneak in there and pull out these rebounds. The first game after the year. Our first game this season, our statistician told us, he's like, she had 14 rebounds. I'm like, I didn't even know she had 14 rebounds. So it's just like, and she just does a good job of crashing and putting herself in spots, and where next thing she comes out with it. But with Leah and our girls, we've been striving hard, telling them, you can't just use your athletic ability, because I think sometimes we do a tendency to do that. Because I will say, this year, in regards to most years in our past, we have a little bit more athletes, but we're just installing, hey, you can't just use your athletic abilities. Medina is they're just as athletic as you are, where you have to go hit and go get, because you're going to be physical. Obviously Leah's got a wingspan like no other that I haven't coached a girl at all like Leah before who blocks shots, who her vertical is off the charts. But if she really goes and finds and locate, there's nothing saying that she can't have a 10 to 15 rebound game this tomorrow.
Absolutely. And just before we let you go, your team got to play in the Ohio versus Ontario Classic. I covered St. Vincent St. Mary girls last week and got to learn a little bit more about it from Coach Whitney over there. You guys dropped your game there to the Markham, the Ontario secondary school, but despite the loss, can you just talk about what that experience was like playing against a Canadian team and what your team can learn from an experience like that?
One thing I just loved about the event is it just showcased the talent level of girls basketball in the area. Yeah. there's been all these things with, this girls basketball. We've been, I love that we participate in that event. I thought it was great to see the teams from Canada and the teams from Ohio going at it. Now, unfortunately, we only were able to do the 1 day event, and most of the teams did the 2 days. But it was great to see as a fan of the sport, the talent level across the girls from Laurel. You got to see Olmsted Falls play, who plays great team basketball. Even Walsh, I know we scrimmaged them this year, but still, it's just a sight to see all the talent level in the area, and then also not just in our state, but just to the country up to the north of us. Just that how involved they are and how they travel nonstop to play the sport that they love. And like I said, it's nice seeing events like that. And then earlier this year, the event I went and watched, I went and scouted at BW, and then also some teams that are playing on Friday nights, doing these double headers, and then the I think it was like the pink preview that they did with the coaches down at I believe it was at gosh, what school? Um I don't want to say the wrong school, but that they did with all the female coaches. It just showcases the talent level and the love of girls basketball in the area, and I think our team loved being a part of it. We played against a really talented team that we thought got us ready for Solon. So even though we lost the game, I thought it prepared us for the teams that we would see this year.
Yeah, it's super cool experience. I hope they continue to put that on. I think it's great for girls basketball in the area, like you mentioned.
Well, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Well, thank you again, Coach, for taking a few minutes
No
before
problem.
the big matchup tomorrow. Best of luck to you and the team tomorrow night, and I look forward to being there.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it, and I appreciate you having me. And if you ever again, I'm always open.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, you have a great one. Thank you.
You too.